There you go. Alrighty. Well, friends, hi. Doc South here. I thought you might, when I work in the dairy section at a local supermarket, I'm always yakking about, when I'm doing the cottage cheese and someone comes by, looking for cottage cheese, I always like to tell them how I one time saw how they make it in the factory. Yeah, or, at the dairy. Yeah. It's kind of cool. At least what I saw. Now maybe there's another way of doing it nowadays. Probably this was a small dairy. Basically served a few towns in central Pennsylvania. But still, it was a pretty cool thing to see. And I'll tell you how it happened. I was working on with the boiler company I worked for, and at that point I was still basically a boiler repair person, a boiler maker, they would say. And I was getting along fairly well with the company, learning how to thread pipes and cut and lay down bricks, boiler bricks and stuff. So I was actually not too bad at it. And the nice thing was I was skinny. I still am. But I was, when I was younger, I was even skinnier, if you can believe it. And you got very agile working around those things. I mean, honestly, you'd be amazed. The little spots you could fit into. And that's just what I was doing that particular day. I was kind of squeaking myself into a spot to work on a pipe. There was a pipe valve was kind of acting up. And we had isolated the pipe, and I was going in with a wrench into this tangle of pipes. I mean, there was pipes everywhere. Pipes this big, pipes that big, pipes like that, pipes like that. I was just kind of, that big pipe, I think, was the smokestack off the boiler. And it was a boiler was shaped kind of like a tin can on its side. Yeah, okay. But anyway, so I think it was a Superior boiler, or maybe a Cleaver Brooks. But in any case, it's sitting there chugging away. And I'm working my way in, duck, around, over, down over here, and all the time I'm getting burned. I'm hitting a hot pipe. Oh, God, that hurts. And eventually I get to the spot. I got my wrench. I'm all set to, tug on the pipe union not a workers union, a pipe union. It's a fitting, right? Okay. I'm working on loosening that up, and then all of a sudden I hear this godforsaken howl of steam. And I don't know if you ever heard steam really go flying out of a pipe or out of a boiler. Boy, I'll tell you, it gets your attention. It's just this hurrah kind of, and loud and a whistle. And let's say, I told you how it took me about 10 minutes to get into position. It took me about 10 milliseconds to get out of that pipe area. And I'm running. It's feet do your stuff. And of course, and all of a sudden I hear laughing. And I stop and I look. And I'll be doggone if it wasn't that helper of mine, or maybe he'd say I was his helper. I would say he was my helper, right? Well, neither one of us were really in charge, but it was Jackson. Doggone you, Jackson! I'm looking at him. He's laughing. He had his hand on the chain that pulls the safety valve. Right, opens the safety valve, releasing all sorts of steam and pressure in the boiler. Not a good thing to do, but daggum if he didn't. And he's laughing his tail off. Oh, you really ran. I said, well, what do you expect me to do? Oh, my God, Jackson, where's a big wrench? I want to clock you over the head. I said, put on your hard hat. We're fighting. And you don't have to get sore, and all this. And of course, I soon realized resistance would be futile. I said, well, dadgum, Jackson, you're buying the beer when we get out of here. Okay. Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, you don't have to get so sore. You're not going to tell the boss, are you? No, it's between you and me. But doggone, don't you ever do that again. Well, I'll think of something else. Oh, good. Thanks. And something to look forward to. Jackson's next trick. But anyway, so while we're bickering back and forth, wasting perfectly good shop time, the guy from the dairy, the production manager, comes walking into the boiler room, and he says, "Hey, you guys, hey, what?" He says, "What? You? How you coming along?" We said, "Well, we're getting there, working hard." Well, we normally were. Normally were. We I guess that was our break. We were on. He says, "Hey, you guys want to see again the production manager? I think, like I said, I hope that's what I said. He says, "You guys want to see how cottage cheese is made? You ever wonder?" I said, "Well, yeah, yeah. What do you say, Jackson? Let's go look." Yeah, okay. And we go stepping into the dairy production room, and the guy says, "Now look, you guys stay back from the tub." We're standing over a thing that was, I'd say it was about 8 or 9 feet long. About it was a tub, just like, but it was made out of. I think it was made out of metal, not ceramic, right? And it might have been copper, maybe not. I don't know. It was a long time ago. Brass, perhaps. And oh gosh, it was maybe about 4 or 5 feet deep. And like I said, yeah, like a absolutely super-sized bathtub. You could almost put a Volkswagen in it. Okay, yeah, it was like that, a Volkswagen Beetle, and it's full of milk. At least that's what it looked like to us. The guy says, "Yeah, this is milk and a few other things in the water. We've got it heated up to a little, just lukewarm, thanks to you guys and the steam." I said, "Well, yeah, cool." And he says, "Now watch." He says, "Watch this." And I guess they got one guy with like a wooden oar, a real clean wooden oar, and he's paddling. And the production manager takes a cup of whatever it was. I think he said it was very acidic. Whether it was straight acid, I don't know, but it was very acidic. And he says, "Watch now." And he pours it in as the guy's swirling away. And as he swirls, in a matter of seconds, certainly no more than 30 seconds, it seemed to me, if I'm remembering right, it all turns into, all of a sudden, all the white just congeals, and it turns into lumps, all these lumps, and around them is this yellowish fluid. He says, "There you go. You know, little Miss Muffet, what did she sit on her tuffet eating?" I said, "Well, Jackson, you should know. You're always," "No, I wouldn't know no stinking fairy tale." I said, "Well, curds and whey." "Curds and whey," he says. "Okay." The curds are the little white balls you see, all the little lumps. The whey is the fluid from milk. Yeah, what we've just made is curds and whey, cottage cheese. I'll be doggone. I said, "So now what do you do?" He says, "Well, we got to get all that fluid out, rinse it off a bit, and we put it into containers, and it's cottage cheese." He told me, it was 2% fat content or whatever. He was getting a little technical for us, and but doggone. I said, "Well, that's pretty easy to do." He says, "Well, you got to heat the milk just to a certain temperature. There's tricks to it." But he says, "Yeah." He says, "Once you got it all figured out, you can make tubs of this stuff just like that." I said, "Whoa, cool." He says, "Now you guys go back and work on that boiler." And I said, "Jackson, you didn't spill any soot off your hard hat into that." He said, "No, wait, I wouldn't think of doing such a thing." Again, you'd have to know Jackson. And he says, "Boy, does cottage cheese go good with beer?" I said, "I think it does." "Okay, good. You buy the cottage cheese, I'll buy the beer. Let's get back to work." And off we go. Back into back into living hell down in the boiler room. Anyway, I thought you might like that one. It was kind of neat story. I remember to this day, and I love telling people all about how cottage cheese just bang, just out of nowhere. There it is. Yeah, yeah, like a thief in the night. Yeah, only it's cottage cheese. Okay, well, that's enough, friends. We'll catch you later. Bye now, and God bless.